All right, so now you're ready to start your journal work, your math journal work. So I am going to walk through with you how to do each section of your journal work, okay? But before you start, I just want to talk about the point of estimating one more time. I don't think I really talked about it enough in our first video. So I know that a lot of you might be thinking, well, Miss Weber, why are you making us do problems and not to get the exact right answer? That's not usually what I say, is it? But I want to give you an example of how you would use estimation in real life. Okay, so if I'm at the grocery store and I only bring $20 with me, I don't want to take the time in the grocery store to get out all my money, look at the prices of the things I want to buy, write out math equations, determine if I have enough money. Okay, I want to get in there and get out as quick as I can. So that's a situation where you would want to estimate. If I'm at the grocery store with $20 and I want an item that's $11 and an item that's 15, instead of writing out a math equation, I want to be able to do it in my head in a snap. So I'm going to say to myself, well, 11 is pretty close to 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. So I know that's quite a bit away from 20, so I'll have plenty of money to get both of those items. Okay, so anyways, um, I know it might not make sense that I'm making you write down the equations because that's not really what you do in real life when you estimate, but that's okay because we're still only second graders and we're still learning how to estimate, right? So that's why I want to make sure that you're doing it right, okay? So, anyways, let's get started. So let's do the step in together. You don't have to write anything down for the step in, just follow along with me. So it says, imagine you cut off 39 inches from this piece of wood. So we have a piece of wood that is 75 inches, and we're cutting off 39. What is an easy way to estimate the length of the piece left over? Let's see what our cat friend says. 39 is close to 40. So I think 75 take away 40. And I think that's exactly right. Can we, in a snap, take away 75, take away 40? Absolutely. We can count back 4 groups of 10 a lot easier than 39. Let's look at the second one. Imagine the full length is 45 inches. So now our total is 45. And you cut off a piece that is 16 inches long. How would you estimate 45 minus 16? 16 is closer to 15. So I think 45 take away 15 to make it easier. And I agree with that. Isn't 45 take away 15 a nice two friendly numbers that we can use because they both end in fives? We know that 45 take away 15 in a snap is 30, okay? Which is super close to what we're looking for. So now let's move on to the step in. Your job here is to estimate the difference between these lengths. Then write the equation to show your thinking. So we have 29 and 54. If we're trying to figure out the difference between the two lengths, we are doing subtraction problems, remember? So we're going to be taking away in all of these problems. Is there a number here that's really close to a decade number? They're both pretty close, aren't they? But I would say 29 is really close to the friendly number 30. So the equation here would be 54 take away 30. Okay? So the difference is about, and then write your answer here. And that's what you're going to do for A, B, and C. Okay? Over here on number 2, your job is to read each problem, then color the label to show your estimate. So I'll read each problem to you, okay? So A, the movie runs for 96 minutes. Evan pauses the movie after 54 minutes to make some popcorn. About how many more minutes will the movie run? If you want to take this time to pause the video and do the problem really quick and write it in your journal so that you can move on with me to B when I read it, feel free to do that. I'm going to move on to B, but you can pause it if you want some more time to think about it. So B says, Brianna had $57. She spent $29 on flowers and $11 on a book. About how much money does she have left? This would be a tricky one if you weren't estimating, but since you're estimating, you're going to round some of these numbers to the nearest 10, okay? Pretend they're the nearest decade number. C. Hernando is driving to the beach. The total distance is 85 miles. He has driven 14 miles. About how many more miles does he need to drive? His total is 85. He's driven 14. Is there a nice friendly number that one of those two are very close to? And D. Carol plays basketball. She scores 18 points in her first season and 61 points in her second season. About how many more points did she score in her second season? Be careful with this one. It's not asking you how many did they score together. Okay? We're not looking for the total amount of points. If we do our total part box, over to the side here. Oops. We're figuring out the difference. Okay, so our total here would be the biggest number we have, which is 61. And then she scored 18 points in the first season. And you're going to find out the difference between those two numbers. But instead of solving for the exact right answer, we're going to find the closest decade number and estimate. Okay? Now for number 3, let's move on to number 3. Estimate each difference. Color the cards that have a difference of about 50. So let's look at A super quickly. 51, take away 30. Do we think that this one, if we look at it in a snap, is going to be about 50? Definitely not, because we're starting at 51. So if we're taking away 30, we know it's not going to be about 50. So we know not to circle number 3. No, not to circle A on number 3. I'm going to give you a hint. There are only 3 that you should be looking for here, okay? When you go through A through J, 3 should be colored. 3 of them are about 50. And let's look at the step ahead. Color 2 ribbons that have a difference of about 30 inches in length. So out of these 4 ribbons, which ones have the difference of about 30 inches? None of them will be exactly 30 inches. You're going to have to find the closest decade numbers, okay? All right, good luck.